Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And you're probably looking at the crypto market right now and thinking, what's going on? Well, let me give you guys the scoop. So, first of all, the crypto market is actually in a recovery right now today from the prices that we've seen yesterday. And if you're wondering why the crypto market did so bad yesterday and partially the day before, it's mostly because of fear. Why fear? What type of fear, you might ask? Well, there were a couple of different things that were ongoing, but most prominently, earlier in the morning, everybody was afraid because the US Department of Justice was going to announce one of their craziest crypto catches, basically. So everybody was wondering, who is the US going to go after next? And it was not any of these bigger platforms that everybody would have feared, like, for example, a Binance or, who knows, a KuCoin, whatever, a Coinbase. Pick a number right there. No, it was the U.S. Department of Justice arrests owner of BitZlato over illicit funds. I don't know about you guys, but I personally have never heard of BitZlato before. I've never used it before. And so this was a little bit of a surprise, as who cares, right? It was made out to be such a big deal, but who cares about this one? It's just another apparent dark web provider. Even though these guys are not on the dark web necessarily, dark web providers were basically on the platform utilizing this crypto exchange. And so the US Department of Justice is going after BitZlato and after this individual right there. Hence the market downfall. Now that the news is behind us and we've also had a juicy little pullback, again, you have to realize for Bitcoin's top price right here, we have fallen down about 6%, a very healthy and juicy pullback. We today are doing pretty good again. Over 24 hours here, it still looks negative, I know. But somewhere later tonight, again, this is how it works, right? It checks basically what was the price exactly 24 hours before, and then it measures off against what it is right now. Again, we've basically been going flat for the entirety of today thus far, even slightly upwards even, and especially in a couple hours, things will look worse, as then again, the 24-hour section will be started at this point, which will make Bitcoin look even worse, but slightly afterwards, we'll all of a sudden see Bitcoin in the very heavy positives, which might also let some people FOMO in, or potentially FOMO out slightly before. But let's see. There was also a slight update in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. I've already covered it over on Twitter, but apparently the SEC has opposed a motion filed by an unidentified company, third party A, to make changes to the party's summary judgment filings. And right here, again, it says right here, I can just open up the tweet itself. Ripple opposes the motion by investment banker declarant, which seems to shield from public view his name, position, and employer because he voluntarily submitted the declaration in support of the SEC's summary judgment motion. Apparently, this was again an important deadline again for people's oppositions in the Ripple case. And while the SEC has no issues with third-party A's request to publish the details of its employee, the regulator strongly opposes three categories of the proposed changes, and according to the SEC, the identity of third-party A and the role it played in defendant's XRP distribution has already been made public without making any changes, and the regulator opposes third-party A and defendant's proposed redactions, which are things hidden away basically, to the names of certain crypto trading platforms, and the SEC's opposition comes less than 5 months after third-party A asked the court to grant its motion to make changes to one of the attachment files by Ripple in its motion for a summary judgment. So peculiar, not crazy though. Again, it's just battles over things being hidden away. But guys, hopefully you've all noticed it. Not sure if you did, but hopefully you did. This was the final deadline as of this point in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit from this December 21st scheduling update. As of this point, I am not sure that there's been any delays again, as again, January 18th was the deadline for oppositions, and regarding all the ceilings, it seems they have filed those now over on the 18th, which was yesterday. And so people were asking, hey, any other dates we have to look out for? And so the majority of the XRP community agrees that the only major date to watch out for right now that we have a specific date for is March 31st. And that's because every half year, judges basically get a little look into all their cases, and that most likely gets done right after March 31st. So there's a very high probability she wants to finish the case as it's in the right time frame on or just before that date. That's again what a lot of lawyers we've spoken to have speculated, and that's all we can can give as of this point. But it's really crazy though that we are right now, as far as I understand, done with all the back and forth in the Ripple case. I'm not sure what else to tell you. It seems to be over. So again, it's not as if the lawsuit itself is over, as there's still multiple conclusions that we need. But the battling, I think only potentially if they want to propose changes, or if things are actually wrong, yada, 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 or if somebody wants to quit, that type of stuff might still happen. But generally, following the schedule, I think we're done, which is pretty mind-boggling. So that now leaves the question, what do we expect to happen to XRP? You guys probably already understand this, but what we're basically looking out for is for Bitcoin to break out. Because the moment that Bitcoin does, XRP most likely is going to follow. And you can see right now that XRP is looking a little bit better than Bitcoin. If we take a slight little look, it again has also fallen down similarly, but actually it's recovered more than Bitcoin has. Depending on how the day ends, we might even have a bullish engulfing candle, a reversal in this sense here. That would be where the next green candle here, the body, fully encompasses the red previous body, which is extremely bullish. If you actually take an objective look at the XRP price, we're seeing a bullish pennant right here. But more importantly, the point is that it's not lacking as much as it's done in the last bull run. What I mean with that is last bull run, in almost every move that Bitcoin made, XRP was kind of slacking off, and that was mostly because of the lawsuit. What it feels like right now is that XRP is being left behind less. And that might be because even though XRP cannot be traded on as many platforms as before and still deserves to be relisted on places and still is not able to be purchased by a lot of people that still want to buy it, we might be seeing a lot of confidence in XRP return. And one of the ways to see that over the last couple of days, again, it's only been like 3 days or so, but anyway, we're starting to see XRP again outperform Bitcoin slightly. This is the XRP versus Bitcoin chart. But more importantly, today is the first day that the Ripple lawsuit is kind of over. Basically, we're done with all the procedures. And all of a sudden, XRP is significantly outperforming Bitcoin. This could be a continuous movement from now on. That XRP is going to perform like a lot of other altcoins are doing versus Bitcoin. And you have to understand the majority of this movement right here is where Bitcoin is in a negative position. And when Bitcoin is in a negative position, altcoins perform even worse. That's not that crazy for XRP to not outperform Bitcoin in those periods. It's specifically the last day or so that I'm mostly interested in it. And you might want to compare it with coins like Ethereum or so, which have also gone on an astronomical rise. Like we also said before, sometimes it can be so simple to identify the trend, what is going on, what's going to happen next, and how we can trade it. Here with Ethereum, you can see it had two tops. We actually pulled a line through. But actually, if you kind of extrapolate this a little bit, you can see where the majority of the resistances lay. We had one breakout with confirmation, which continued on bullish for a little while. We broke through below. It acted as new resistance. And then the moment it breached again, it then acted as support. And that meant, okay, things are starting to go and act bullish from here on forward. Then again, we had a little bit of some resistance at the 200 weekly moving average, fell down below. Came back to our previous bottom here at the trend line retouch, bounced off of that again, and then proceeded to retest the 200 weekly moving average, breached through with confirmation, and now it's back at these highs basically that we had when we had our previous breakout at the end of October. For XRP, we're seeing something quite similar. If you take a look, you can see that right now, indeed, we are at levels that we have seen for a significant amount of time. We have specifically seen peaks in this area for XRP for like months on months and months. Even in May, we had peaks for the XRP price in this area. Obviously, right now, the most important, most crucial move that we can get is a breach of the 40-cent barrier. We can see this is most important, and maybe because of the slightly more bullish momentum that we're seeing on XRP right now, because the lawsuit is basically done, we can breach through, or potentially if Bitcoin breaches through 21.35, basically the most major resistance that we have across or in front of us, then we can actually get an XRP movement going, an XRP pump going. And the moment that we breach, we've only done that for a little while here, between the end of September and the beginning of November. If we do breach through again, there's a very good chance we're just going to start pumping and pumping significantly, as there's not that many short-term resistances close by. You can see if we're really talking about other resistances, we have to look back all the way towards July of 2021, because the majority of the way towards like 60 cents or so is free. Of course, we have a little hurdle at 50 cents, major psychological barrier, and coincidentally, the 200 weekly moving average point as well. That's going to definitely be a significant hurdle. But again, to put it into perspective, the entire stock market was down yesterday. And since those were falling back, Bitcoin followed the same faith. It lost a little bit of steam this rally for the stock market. Now, again, if that sets through and Bitcoin also sets through and pushes through $21,350-ish, oh, that could surely be insane. Again, I've said it before, but I still have a Bitcoin long position open that's been there for multiple thousands of dollars, but I'm also keeping my fingers steady on increasing my XRP long positions. Again, I try to always have long positions open if we're very close to the bottom, because as I've seen in the big bull run, the people that did that made so ridiculously much money. That's just worth it for me. Anyway, on XRP, the moment that we do cross and we get some confirmation, I'm going to have to significantly add to my long positions, as it's looking as if we're gonna get a very significant move towards 50 cents. Right now, for spot, I'm basically just buying still, because I believe, again, the lawsuit can't be that far away and it's worth the risk to reward. But you have to understand, I am not certain the result is going to be good. I'm not certain Ripple is going to win, and I'm not certain that we're actually going to go 10x anymore or 50x anymore. It depends on what the market looks like as of that point, but it also depends on how much we gain in that period of time. If, for example, XRP falls back down right now, but the general market conditions are very bullish the moment that we get a settlement, there's a very good chance that XRP is going to really spike out of proportion. If, however, XRP just keeps pumping up now, crosses the 50 cent barrier, and potentially keeps on gaining, and then we get some sort of settlement, while Bitcoin on those days is very negative, it might be way less important. You have to understand, however, that many people are underestimating how significant a settlement in the Ripple versus SEC case would be, as it's going to set crypto regulation on the map for the entirety of the US. And we've seen them mostly kind of fidget around. The US SEC has not been doing a proper job all that much. And even now the Department of Justice, their case, can we call it amazing? No. So this would be some major piece of crypto regulation, albeit by enforcement. And yeah, the consequences of that could be very great. Having said that, guys, I'll recommend you a couple of things. There's links down below. One, to Bybit. It's the exchange that I personally use. Another, or two more, to NordVPN. It's the VPN I personally use, but just get yourself a VPN. Cannot recommend it more. A link to Ledger. It's the hardware wallet I personally use. It's the place where I keep my crypto safe, basically. And there might be more links down below. Just check them out. Those are all the stuff that I personally use. But yeah, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys again later today in another crypto video.